Whoa. It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. I'm in the Trapper Creek Wilderness in southern Washington, the Gifford Pinchot National Forest. I'm in an old growth forest right here in a completely preserved watershed. You can't really see, but on the other side of this grove of trees, there's a mountainside of old growth habitat. So this is an old growth forest. It's gnarled and broken and crooked and twisted. It's covered with moss and down deadfall and litter and duff and just chaos. And yet within that chaos is utter organization. I was just sitting here kind of laying back against this tree, and I began to listen to it. Kind of began to nod off, and I was like, ooh. Better pull it together here. So I walked for 2 hours. 2 hours straight. I don't even think I stopped anywhere to get back to here. Past some spectacular old growth, and it's pretty simple back here. Just don't trip, man. Don't trip and fall and hurt yourself. Keep your wits about you. I wish it was all this simple. And yet, what is it they say? Don't forget to see the forest through the trees. Because you can't really see right here, but through these trees is a whole forest covering a whole mountainside, going way back into a whole drainage. And on a map, it's pretty small, but when you're back in here, it's pretty vast. And so goes life, right? Inside the smallest mustard seed, there's contained an entire universe. It's good to get away from it all. It really is. I was thinking about how much the forest loves you and itself and life, and yet it's an utterly violent symphony in a stasis, right? So this forest has been here before, before Lewis and Clark floated down the Columbia River, before John Jacob Astor and his expedition floated down the river, before the trappers, before the British. In that, you realize why these places are so important. Why these are the keys to unlocking the universe. It's because there isn't anything to discover. You know what I mean? Everybody's or the system or whatever it is always looking for meaning, depth, does there need to be any meaning and depth? I mean, you can look into that right there and see infinite, and yet it totally makes contact with you. You're in it. Like, I'm in it right now. Like, that's it, is like when I'm in it. I don't need to know what the universe is about, what the shape of the planet is about, any of it. I really just need to know that I have water, and yet there's water down there. I would drink from this watershed. It's a completely protected watershed. I would drink from that stream down there. I don't know what to make about it all. Outside of this, it's like some sort of non-chaos, right? If an old growth forest is all about chaos, right? Everything's bent, and that's why I stopped here, was this tree's bent and it's got a big split going up, and I was like, all right, that's the tree I want to trip out on. You know, what's that tree's story, dude? Hit by lightning, something caused it to grow sideways at the top. It's just all weirded out, right? Like, the old growth forest is based upon symbiotic chaos. And out there, it's the order that causes the chaos, right? In here, the chaos causes peace. Out there, the order causes chaos. It's a fascinating paradigm. The energy level of this life is very, very much alive. It is very much alive. The whole thing. There's no denying it anymore. There's no... It's funny, I've been coming to this forest now for... I've been coming to this forest now for 25 years. 25 years I've been coming into this forest. So all these trees have gotten a little older. 25 years older, all of everything. You know, was this thing right here? Was this tree here? This little sapling, was it here 25 years ago? I don't think so. The more you think you want it simple, the more you realize that's the chaos. And the more chaos you want to enter, the simpler it gets. This kind of chaos, the true natural chaos of life, living in a symbiotic relationship with itself. I don't know, maybe that's what's going on out in the out there too, right? It's just life, living. Livin, and it's doing its thing, and it's hectic, and it's chaotic, and it's demanding to be noticed. It's saying I'm here. If you don't know I'm here, how about I really let you know you're here? And I think for many of us that know it's here, that know that life exists, that knows this is here, that it's almost deafening, the chaos out there, because it's not trying to wake us up. It's not trying to tell us that the earth is alive, that the air is alive, that everything's alive. It's a living, breathing organism called God, right? Maybe that's to even shortchange God, but you get where I'm going. It's been demanding to be noticed. and many people don't even want to notice it. So it's caused this tornado of noise, and it's deafening. For those of us who can hear, it's just like, ah, ah. And then you come here, right? That's the sound of silence. I remember once I was tripping on mushrooms in this forest with this friend of mine. And I was laying there and just in it, right? I was in it, just peeking or whatever. And she was standing there and I was like, get a rock. She's like, what for? I go, smash my head in. I don't think it's ever going to get better than this. We started laughing, but it was pretty true. It was pretty true. It's that same thing. Like when I was nodding off here, I was just so at peace in it, listening to it, breathing with it, that I could have stayed there forever, infinitely. I had the same experience on the hillside in Big Sur a couple years back, 5 or 6 years ago. So I guess I was wrong when I told her to smash my head in with the rock. Like, we can find it. You know, I think when I sit out here in this, right, you go, you see a lot of that, like, it's going to be okay. I don't want things to be okay. I want things to be fantastic. I want things to just be ecstatic. I don't want things to be okay. We're pushing through a new paradigm, right? It's pretty radical. It's pretty radical what's going on right now in the human experience, and yet here this has just been sitting here the entire time. Just GROWIN, just growing. That doesn't cease to just fill my heart and soul with irony. This has been here the entire time. Just doing this. Just doing this, man. Fires have come through. Volcanoes have blown up. Right over here is Mount St. Helens, man. Right on the other side of this ridge, pretty much. And here we are, man. I don't know. I'm just grateful to be out here. I'm like exhausted. This journey up to the Pacific Northwest has been physically, emotionally, and spiritually just very, very consuming. And yeah, I'm gonna need to take a couple days off from all of this. I gotta muster the willpower to pick myself up off the side of this mountain and walk back through this old growth forest, get in a vehicle, drive back to the chaos, man. The extremes, right? From the truth to the truth. None of them are wrong. They're all the same thing. I think that's I think that's where people have lost their minds a little bit, is this right here does not disconnect from that. It's all connected. Yeah, just because there's a line on the map that designates this as an old growth forest, it doesn't mean it's separate from that reality out there. I saw a giant sequoia tree growing in someone's yard up in the hills of Portland yesterday. You know, it's not supposed to be up there, but it is. You wonder, man, will that tree, I mean, that's up in Forest Park, will that sequoia there live to grow on the side of that hill for thousands of years and drop its little offspring off, and there'll be an old growth sequoia grove, and you'll have no clue there was any houses underneath all of this forest, you know? All of this forest. Who knows what's really underneath this old growth forest? Who knows, man? Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I don't even care. I'm just super grateful to be here. I'm going to pick myself up, and I'm going to enjoy my slow walk through this old growth forest. Let's just listen to it for a little bit.